Doctor Strange 2 blows past Eternals and Shang-Chi. We all knew that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was going to be a monster, but even then, Sam Raimi's superhero sequel has gotten off to a box office start that can only be described as incredible. After its first weekend in release, the 28th entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe's big screen filmography has hauled in a mind-blowing $450 million, according to the latest estimates. To put things into perspective, Benedict Cumberbatch's second solo outing has earned more in 3 days than Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings and Eternals managed during their entire theatrical runs. While some may point to the pandemic as being a major factor, that didn't prevent titles like Fast and Furious 9, No Time to Die, and of course Spider-Man, No Way Home, from flying substantially higher, so praise must be pointed squarely in the direction of the reality-hopping, mind-melting, and boundary-pushing PG-13 blockbuster. Once again, the MCU has planted a flag at the summit of the cinematic mountain and dared anyone to come close. Bear in mind, Doctor Strange 2 has a clear run ahead of it for the next 3 weeks until Top Gun: Maverick arrives, so it'll almost certainly be the second highest-grossing pandemic-era blockbuster by then, with the $902 million of China's The Battle of Lake Changjin the number to beat. Realistically, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness should be the top-earning title of 2022 within the next week and a half, with the Batman $764 million set to be demolished in no time at all. Doctor Strange 2 costume designer reveals changes requested by Kevin Feige. While almost every Marvel hero gets a complete makeover in each installment of this interconnected cinematic universe, the titular master of the mystic arts in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness has had to wear the same outfit for 5 movies. His latest solo outing, however, finally rectifies this overlooked facet by finally giving the superhero the Kamar-Taj Master outfit. In a recent press release for the Doctor Strange sequel, costume designer Graham Churchyard explained how Kevin Feige personally intervened to get a redesign for his film. With this movie, Kevin Feige wanted to upgrade Doctor Strange's costume. In all his previous outings, he had remained in his disciple costume. Even though he had graduated and was now a master, in Infinity and in Endgame he is wearing the disciple costume, so Kevin wanted to use the new movie as an opportunity to upgrade him so that he is wearing a master's costume from the very beginning, which we tailored to give a very heroic and powerful silhouette. In fairness to the original costume, the knitting was done in such an intricate and detailed manner that many of us didn't actually mind seeing Strange in the same outfit over and over again. This new design is much simpler and easier on the eye, though it's unclear if he'll continue to wear it for future MCU outings. Whatever the changes, though, we can safely say that one thing will always be a constant so far as Strange's apparel is concerned, and that's the cloak of levitation. MCU fans already beginning to criticize the direction of Phase 4. Several movies and television shows into Phase 4 and no one is still quite sure where Marvel is heading with the MCU's future. Unlike the Infinity Saga, which laid the groundwork for the coming together of the Avengers as early as the post-credit scene of Iron Man, the stories that have followed Endgame don't seem to be building towards an overarching narrative, an issue that has raised a lot of concern in the fandom recently. Granted, WandaVision ultimately led to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, while Loki is seemingly setting up Kang the Conqueror as a major antagonistic figure for future stories. But looking at Black Widow, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Eternals, and Shang-Chi, and then factoring in the former projects as well, there doesn't seem to be a narrative demonometer to tie everything together like the Infinity Saga did with every entry. Even the most recent Multiverse of Madness follows the same pattern. Though the movie has packed a lot of exciting cameos and fan service moments, it isn't building towards an overarching premise. A critic recently brought this point up on Twitter, and it has since spawned a viral debate on the social media platform as to whether Phase 4 has a direction at all. Overall, it seems that Phase 4 is garnering more criticism than everything that preceded it. The MCU's success was, by no stretch of the imagination, a lightning in a bottle situation, But Kevin Feige and his producers may have to give fans more than they're currently letting on if they wish to ride on this wave for the foreseeable future. James Gunn clarifies Peacemaker stars Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 casting confusion. James Gunn is well known for working with the same actors on a regular basis, and he continues to live up to that reputation on the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, even though he's already worked with the principal cast twice already. Peacemaker's Chukwudi Wuji has boarded the ensemble to play a major mystery role, but he remains the only newcomer officially confirmed outside of Will Poulter's Adam Warlock. However, fans thought that Gunn had confirmed another of his frequent collaborators for the cosmic sequel, but that doesn't appear to be the case. At least not yet. The filmmaker's longtime partner and freshly minted fiancée Jennifer Holland has already shown up in Brightburn, The Suicide Squad, and Peacemaker, and a recent tweet from Gunn seemed to indicate that she was also set for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. However, he's since sought to send the record straight, although it's easy to see why everyone would have jumped to that particular conclusion given the wording of his tweet. Of course, that doesn't mean that Holland won't be making her MCU debut in Volume 3, given that Nathan Fillion, Steve Agee, Michael Rooker, and more have swung by to continue their long-term associations with the Slither and Super Architect. Shooting may have wrapped, but we still know next to nothing about the movie other than the basics, which means we're in for a long 11 months until Gunn and the gang's last hurrah as a unit makes its way to theaters.